This is my #1 secret on how to save money at the grocery store on steak. I can't even take this anymore. Stop buying this stuff, start buying this stuff. Let's go. Can you still save money in 2024 on steaks? We are gonna put that to the test today, and I'm gonna show you how to save money by cutting your own ribeyes at home. Last year, I put out a video on how to cut your own ribeyes at home to save money. It blew up. On the date of this recording, it has got 2.8 million views on YouTube. Let's take a quick look at that video. Who doesn't like a ribeye? If you don't like ribeye, we can't be friends. Who is that guy anyway? Recently, I've gotten some comments that said that deal is not available. You cannot find that kind of savings now. And we're gonna see, can we still save money on cutting our own ribeyes at home? Let's first check out the pre-cut ribeyes at the grocery store. So I went to Publix, and it just so happened when I'm trying to do this video that it's on sale. But if you add in the savings from their $17.99 sale, we're talking about $21.99 a pound for USDA choice ribeyes. Frankly, I wasn't impressed with the way that they were cut. So $21.99, way too high a price. So where did I go? I went to Costco. It's well documented on this channel how often I go to Costco. So I got this whole ribeye for $13.39 per pound. Boom. I think we can stop right there. $21.99. All right, see you later. We got $13.39. Thank you. I will take it every day of the week. I just saved you all a ton of money. I can stop the video here. No, we're not done. We've barely begun. I gotta show you what to do with this big thing. Does the value ever stop around here? No, it doesn't. We're here to help. Let's do this. Before we bring on the meat, I wanna talk about some gear. It is my pleasure to announce that the Butcher Wizard has its own knife. We have gone back and forth with a manufacturer to make sure that we can get an affordable knife that gets the job done. We're gonna have a 10-inch breaking knife like this. We're also going to have a 6-inch boning knife, which I've used for like the tenderloin project, some other projects. We are looking to ship these knives at the end of November in 2023. If you are watching this video right now in 2023, you can get on the waiting list by clicking the link in the description. On that waiting list, you will get updates on when that knife is exactly available and ready to ship. You're also gonna get a hefty discount. If you are watching this video after November of 2023, go ahead and click the link and it will be a link that'll send you to the page to buy this knife. Thank you for supporting the channel, get a knife, and do these projects. Let's get back to the meat. When they're breaking down an entire cow, they break it down into primal cuts. I'm gonna show you a graphic here. Those primal cuts are huge. They are big cuts of meat. And those primal cuts are then broken down into subprimal cuts. And these subprimal cuts are then taken and cut into individual pieces for a butcher shop or a grocery store. So in this case, the primal cut would be the rib section of the cow. The subprimal cut is the rib eye. And then we would cut these into steaks, into individual ribeye steaks to sell individually at a grocery store or butcher shop. And that would be the cut that is given to the public. Let's talk now about where can you find this. You can get a whole ribeye section in your warehouse clubs, your Sam's Club, your Costco's. I got this one from Costco. You can also get a whole ribeye from a place that I like to go to called the Chef's Store. Go check the website, see if they're in your area. They're not everywhere, but if you have one close to you, they're a good place to get a big cut of meat. It is a treasure trove if you want to do some home butchery. The next place you can go is just go to your grocery store. Anytime you see the meat cutters behind the window and they're actually cutting meat, they're probably gonna have one of these lurking behind that counter. So go and ask them and say, hey, I would like a whole ribeye, subprimal. Another place you can go, of course, you can always go to your local butcher shop. All right, the ribeye primal sits between the chuck, which would be on this side, and you can tell that You look at this side, you can see the intermuscular fat going through the middle. That is the chuck end. So this is the closer to the chuck on this side. And this one is closer, this side is closer to the short loin. You can tell because when you look at this side, it's pretty lean. You don't see a lot of intermuscular fat in there, and you don't see that ribeye, that classic ribeye strip of fat that goes through the middle. You don't see it on this side. So we got our chuck end and we have our short loin end. What we're gonna do is it's very, very simple. We're just gonna cut straight ribeyes throughout the whole time. So we're gonna take our 10-inch breaking knife, again, shameless plug, go get on the weighing list, thank you. And we're gonna go ahead and square this off. The way you wanna hold the knife too is kind of pinch the blade with your fingers like this and put your index finger over that. So you never get to the sharp point, but again, you have the most control over the knife. The reason it's so long is because we have this big surface we have to cut. As we're cutting, we're gonna bring up our wrist, and that's gonna make it so we can cut all the way through, okay? So let's practice here. We're just gonna square this off. Again, get in there in the knife, and then let the knife do the work, okay? Now, why do we square it off? Well, it's just because it looks nice. And I spent time as a butcher, and you gotta make it look nice. You don't have to square it off. You could take your first cut as a prime rib if you want and just roast the whole thing. Or the best thing you can do is, let's cut this thing up. Let's take this squared off piece. We can cook it. I can feed it to my dog. I can have a snack. It's a butcher snack. That's how we do it. So now that we have it squared off, we're gonna take the next cut. We're gonna go about 1 inch to 1.25 inches, and that's gonna give us anywhere from a 12 to 14 ounce ribeye for this size. If you get one of these other ribeyes that are really big, you might need to cut it a little thinner, or you're just gonna have a really big ribeye. You're gonna have a 1 pounder. So we are just gonna take it, again, make a little tiny like sawing cut just to get through the top part of it, and then you cut through and go all the way down. And then as you come through, you lift your wrist up and it makes a nice smooth cut. Now we're gonna go back through these and trim them up as soon as we cut all the way through them. I like to trim after I cut the whole thing so that I can get the most control. Some people like to cut different parts and cut the fat off and all this stuff. I like to go ahead and trim individual steaks because then I can really control it. Now, if you're one of these people who love the fat on the outside of the steak, don't trim it at all. That is up to you. That is the reason we're doing this, is total customization. If you like it more lean, you cut the fat off. If you like the fat in there, keep the fat on. You get to control everything about this. That is the #1 reason why we're doing this. All right, here we go. Another inch. Here we go. We cut through a little bit, and then we slide through, lifting our arm, lifting our wrist. Boom. Another beautiful ribeye. One more time. And we're just gonna go like this all the way down, okay? Now that we have it cut open, you can kind of see what's going on here. So this right here is the ribeye cap. Now the ribeye cap might be the most delicious piece of meat on the entire cow. It is super moist, super juicy, super flavorful. When you're picking out a ribeye, you want to pick out a ribeye that has the biggest ribeye cap. So far, we haven't done anything that is difficult. Again, we're just taking the whole ribeye, we're slicing it up, and that's it. This is too easy for you to get fleeced at the grocery store and not do it yourself. This is way too easy. You can do this. What we're gonna do now is just trim some of this heavy fat. Now, if you wanna keep that on there, you go right ahead. You control everything that you wanna do. But here, we're just gonna take a little bit of that fat off. At a butcher shop, it's gonna be in a case. It's gotta look nice. So again, that doesn't look like a beautiful looking ribeye, good ribeye cap. Oh, that one's a beautiful one right there. And we're just gonna go through and take these down and take some of these big chunks of fat off. This fat is great. You can render it for beef tallow. You can put it in your burger mix to grind your own hamburgers. It is perfect. Do not throw this away. This goes in I put these in a freezer bag and then I put it in the freezer, and when I'm ready to grind, I will add that to my hamburgers. So look at that good looking ribeye right there. Oh man. We're just gonna go ahead and do this to the rest of them, just taking off this big chunk of fat, making them look nice. Oh man, are you kidding me? These are awesome. So we ended up getting 14 of these beautiful ribeyes that we cut ourselves. And we also got we got a pound and 12 ounces of fat and trim that we're gonna go right into making hamburgers out of. And then I just can't believe all of the great quality that we got here today. Let's get the grocery store ribeye so we can compare to the ones that we cut ourselves. So here are the ribeyes that I got from the grocery store. And let's see, you know, I love the sound of freshness, which is plastic wrap opening up. The sound of freshness, not really. Here are ribeyes that we got from the grocery store. You can see that these were kind of mangled up. Look at this. What do we got here? You know, it's like, this is kind of a little slimy. I don't know when they cut these, but like, look at how it's already coming apart. Do you see that? How it's already separated. Like, if you are picking out ribeyes, don't pick out this one, because like, look at it. It's like got several muscle groups that are just kind of all falling apart. If I just pull a little bit, oh my goodness, it's all the way pulled apart. Oh my goodness. And the other thing I don't like about grocery store ribeyes and grocery store steaks in general is they cut them so thin. They're trying to make like this package like a pound so it will sell like a pound of ribeyes. But like, look at this. By the time you cook this, by the time you sear this piece right here, it is going to be medium well, at least. So these thin ribeyes, they just don't cut it. I would rather get a big, thick one so I can get it to medium rare. Like, man, these just make me sad. They make me sad. Does this make you sad? It makes me sad. We don't have to do this. Let's do, like, look at the difference. Here is my ribeye that I cut, and here is the ribeye that I got from the grocery store. Which one would you like, A or B? Let me know in the comments, A or B. Which one of these do you like? That looks like a much better ribeye than this right here. So I get this one for much less of a price, or I can get this one that I can barely even stomach. Oh my goodness. Whew. I'm ranting a little bit, but we have to get to the price savings. Let's break down the math and let's go to it. So our ribeyes we got from the grocery store that we've already decided have been substandard are $21.99 per pound. Whew. Waste of money right there. I can cut my own, get a beautiful ribeye cap, get a beautiful ribeye for $13.48 per pound. If we look just at that savings, we are looking at a complete savings of the whole ribeye of $114.85. So are you telling me that I got a better quality? I got to pick how thick I want them. I get to make prime ribs out of it, do whatever I want, and I save $115? Are you kidding me? Are we really having this conversation? Are you still buying this stuff right here? Don't do it anymore. Get your own whole ribeye. Let's cut them ourselves. Let's do this. If you like this video, please go ahead and link in the description of get on the waiting list for the breaking knife. It is coming out end of November 2023. Go pick yours up and go get some ribeyes. I can't even take this anymore. Stop buying this stuff. Start buying this stuff. Let's go. See you on the next one.